All right, today we are diving into one of the simplest but most powerful health habits you can possibly adopt. And what's amazing is that it's backed by a ton of solid science. We're talking about the power of morning sunlight.
No, really, just think about that for a second. What if the secret to sleeping better, having a sharper mind, and even a faster metabolism was just waiting for you right outside your front door every single morning? And it's totally free. I know, it sounds almost too good to be true, but the science here is it's incredibly compelling.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to cover the foundational science, why light is so darn critical for our bodies. Then, we'll get into the amazing benefits for your brain and your mood. After that, we'll explore the surprising link to your metabolism. And we'll wrap it all up with a practical plan you can start tomorrow. And, really importantly, a look at how to do this safely.
So why all the fuss about morning light? I mean, it's just light, right? Well, it all comes down to a powerful biological system that's hardwired into, believe it or not, every single cell in your body.
And that system is your circadian rhythm. You should think of it like a master clock, located deep inside your brain. This clock is like the conductor of a giant orchestra, telling all your body's different systems, everything from your hormones to your digestion, when to turn on and when to power down.
So how does this master clock know what time it is? It needs a cue from the outside world, and light, specifically bright morning light, is by far the most powerful signal it listens for. When that light hits your eyes in the morning, it sends a direct message to your brain that basically says, okay, the day has officially started. Let's get everything online now.
And listen, this isn't just some new wellness trend. It's a fundamental part of our biology. As this quote from the research makes really clear, our bodies evolved to sync up with the sun. Getting a strong light signal during the day, and then having real darkness at night, that's the foundation for a healthy, well-regulated body. So once you start setting that master clock correctly, the benefits start to cascade. And some of the first things you'll probably notice are huge improvements in your sleep, your mood, and just your overall brain function.
It all starts with melatonin, often called the hormone of darkness. Now, for great sleep, you want melatonin levels to be super low during the day and high at night. This chart shows exactly why morning light is a game changer. That blue-rich sunlight just crushes melatonin production, which screams to your body, it's daytime, be awake. And here's the magic part. Doing that also sets a timer for a big surge of melatonin about 16 hours later, right when you want to be getting sleepy.
And these effects, they're not subtle. You can feel them almost immediately. In one study, people who got just 1 hour of bright morning light didn't just feel more awake, they reported feeling significantly less sleepy and having a significantly better mood than people who are just under normal indoor lights. This isn't just a feeling, it's a direct physiological response. And the good stuff just keeps rolling throughout the day. Studies show this one little habit can sharpen your alertness, actually lead to faster reaction times, and can even lower the odds of cognitive decline. It's especially powerful for people dealing with depression. In fact, this is exactly why light therapy is a frontline treatment for seasonal affective disorder. It works by directly shifting that melatonin rhythm forward, which tends to get delayed during the dark winter months.
Okay, this is where it gets really surprising for a lot of people. That exact same light signal that resets your brain, well, it also has a huge impact on how your body manages energy and even your body weight.
You see, the problem with our modern world is that we've totally flipped the natural light cycle on its head. We spend our days inside in relatively dim light, which gives our master clock a really weak signal. Then we spend our evenings staring at bright screens, which totally confuses it. This dim day, bright night lifestyle is now being directly linked to all sorts of metabolic problems.
And the evidence is just piling up. We have these huge studies showing that shift workers have a much higher risk of obesity and diabetes. Other research finds a direct link between the timing of your light exposure and your body weight. Getting bright light at the wrong time, especially late at night, can mess with how your body processes sugar. So that strong morning signal isn't just for your brain. It's literally setting the metabolic pace for your entire day.
All right, so we have covered the why in a lot of detail. Now let's get to the how. This is the simple, practical part that you can literally put into action tomorrow morning.
It's really just a simple 3-step routine. Step 1, timing. You want to get that light exposure within the first hour of waking up. That's what sends the strongest start the day signal. Step 2, duration. You don't need a lot of time. 10 minutes on a bright sunny day is great, maybe up to 30 minutes if it's really overcast. And step 3, and this is absolutely crucial, you have to go outside. The intensity of sunlight, even on a cloudy day, it's hundreds of times brighter than your indoor lights. Looking through a window just doesn't cut it. The glass filters out too much of the good stuff.
Okay, so I can already hear the questions. But what about cloudy days? What about the dead of winter when it's dark? What if I'm a shift worker? Totally fair questions.
Here are the simple fixes. On cloudy days, like we said, just get outside anyway. You are still getting a massive dose of light compared to being indoors. For those dark winter mornings, a 10,000 lux light therapy box is an amazing tool. It's designed to mimic the sun's intensity. And for all the shift workers out there, the same rule applies. Get that bright light exposure as soon as you wake up, no matter what time that is. You're just anchoring your clock to your own personal schedule.
Of course, we cannot have a conversation about the sun without also talking about being smart and safe. It is so important to approach this in a balanced way to get all of the benefits without any of the risks.
Let me be absolutely clear. We are not talking about sunbathing, we are not talking about getting a tan, or even worse, a sunburn. The goal here is strategic, timed light exposure for your eyes and brain, not excessive, damaging UV radiation on your skin. The risks of too much sun are very real.
And this table really lays it out perfectly. On the one hand, that strategic exposure gives you that potent circadian signal, a boost in vitamin D, and an enhanced mood. But on the other hand, excessive exposure leads to skin damage, higher cancer risk, and a whole host of other issues. It's all about finding that healthy sweet spot.
So, here is your smart sun checklist. Keep that morning exposure short and sweet, just the 10 to 30 minutes you need. Always be aware of the UV index. If it's high, be extra careful. And this should go without saying, but please never, ever stare directly at the sun. And of course, if you're going to be outside for a long time later in the day, you absolutely should use sunscreen and protective clothing. This morning habit is a tool, not an excuse for being unsafe.
Okay, let's wrap this up with the most important points. Number 1, morning light is your body's #1 reset button. Number 2, the time it takes is tiny, just 10 to 30 minutes for huge returns on your sleep, mood, and metabolism. Number 3, consistency is everything. Doing this most days is what really locks in that healthy rhythm. And finally, always be smart about the sun.
So there you have it. This science is clear, and the instructions couldn't be simpler. Your own personal daily reset button is waiting for you. The only question left is, are you going to press it tomorrow morning? Thanks for tuning in.